VRChat just released 10-point tracking. What that means is that you can use a VR headset, 2 controllers, and 7 trackers to more accurately track your body in virtual reality. I'm someone who started virtual reality by building my own headset using like an Android phone and like RiftCat and using like Nintendo Wii controllers to eventually getting my own VR headset to basically what I have now today. So this is basically what my experiences have been from my own upgrades and how I felt when I upgraded from each step of virtual reality. Someone on my stream asked me what I thought about the 10-point tracking, and I answered the question in terms of for the regular person. I think 10-point tracking would be really, really good for those of you who are interested into VTubing or motion capture. But if you're just kind of like a casual user wanting to use it for increasing your immersion into VR or virtual reality, these are my thoughts. So here's the thing, I don't think it's that much better than 6-point tracking, aka if you have 3 trackers with VRChat. It does give you some niceties, like look, I can do this, which is this is something you can't do with 6-point tracking in VRChat. You can't do this. And then also, like, when I cross my legs, it actually crosses my legs properly, which is, I guess, okay. But here's the thing, I never really found that immersion breaking. I don't think it's worth the hassle, personally. I have the optimal setup for mounting trackers to your body right now. Hey, Fofamit, just cutting in here. What I mean by optimal setup for mounting the trackers to my body is, here's a picture. This is my Rococo motion capture suit with all of the electronics taken out. Right now it's on the ground and not on my body, so it looks like more of a mess than it is. But let me tell you, when it's actually on my body, all the straps are in the right place, all the cables are managed, and everything can stay charged, which is super awesome. And that's what I'm talking about when I say I have the optimal VR tracking mounts. Like, I have no cables like running all over the place. I have batteries charging everything at all times. The end result is something that's only like not that much better. In terms of like increasing immersion, the upgrade from
What?
desktop to VR, you increase your immersion factor by like maybe 100 times. Suddenly, like, you can see all around you. You can move your hands and you can like interact with the world. So like it's 100 times increase of immersion factor going from desktop mode to VR. The next upgrade would be getting full body. So getting the 3 trackers, hip and feet. And like, I think that has like an immersion factor of 10x, because now like your body's moving more in sync with what you're doing in real life. So those VR headsets right now, like, would be the best one to get is a Valve Index. So you get a Valve Index, it's $1,000, you're getting 100 times immersion increase. So from that point, if you spend $300 to get full body tracking, right, you're getting like a 10x increase of immersion. The return of investment is not that bad. The increase of going from 6-point tracking to 10-point tracking, the immersion factor is 2x. That's it. So it goes from 100x, 10x, 2x. But here's a couple things to think about, right? If you have full body tracking, the 3-point track, like the hip and feet, you can get extra battery life by the Rebuff Reality Vive Tracker straps that have a built-in battery. You're gonna have 12-hour battery life right there. That's awesome. That's more than what most people need. That doesn't increase the amount of hassle that you have to take that on, other than having these straps on your feet and your hip. Right? It's not a big deal because like there's no wires, it's wireless. And that brings the cost up from $300 to an extra $100 to $150. So I think they're $150. So that's $450 to have like the best full body tracked experience in VRChat to get 10x the immersion. However, now you're going from that to 10-point tracking and you're only getting like 2x factor of like immersion. It's not perfect. It's still a little bit rigid. It's not as fluid as you really are because it's still really stiff. Like I only know this because I have a mocap suit. I have a Rococo motion capture suit. I know what it looks like. It looks very fluid. It looks very natural when you move around. This, it looks a little rigid and stiff, but you know, that's okay. Now putting that aside, now you have your expectations set. So now you have these trackers. You need to have 4 extra trackers on your one on each forearm and then one on each thigh. With these trackers, there's currently no straps that you can get that'll keep them secure and in place. Because if you put the reason why your foot tracker stays on your feet is because it molds the contour of like the arch of your foot. Or if you put it on your ankle, like it can only go down because your foot is there. The hip tracker, because it's on your hip and like it shouldn't slide. Some people actually have problems with the hip tracker sliding up and down. I don't, because like it just hits against my hips. Your thigh is tapered. Your forearm is relatively, I don't know, my forearms are like, they're like twigs, basically. I have twig arms. And the thing is though, is that a conventional like strap tracker like you can get for your foot, even if you make that like a longer one, you can secure it, but the only way to make sure it won't slide up and down is by making it super tight, which will make it really uncomfortable. There's no battery straps available for those because the normal foot straps won't fit around your arms. They won't fit around your thighs. So you have to use like these janky solutions. But the thing is like, how are you gonna keep it secure and charged at the same time? How are you gonna manage those batteries? And now taking that into account, having to get like some rinky-dink solution, or even if you have a solution that keeps it secure in place, like how much of a pain is that to put on and off every time you want to hop into VR? How much of a pain is it to now have to charge 7 trackers instead of having to charge 3 trackers? Think of all the wires that you're gonna have to do. Is that worth the increase in immersion? And I think, no, it's not. I'm saying this from the perspective of someone who has the ideal 10-point tracking setup. I have the ideal setup because I'm using my Rococo suit with the electronics taken out. The Rococo suit has cable wiring grommets. So all my cables are managed and wired in, so they're not gonna get caught on anything. They're not hanging out all over the place. There's little pockets for the batteries that the wires go to. And there's straps all along like the body where I can securely mount a Vive Tracker to. So I actually used my Prusa printer to print strap holders so that all I gotta do, make sure the batteries are charged on the battery packs that I have in the suit. And then I zip it and put it on. That's it. That's how I got it ready this morning. I don't think it's worth it. But and here's the reason why. Slime VR is probably gonna get more community support and development. There's probably gonna be more and more people getting Rococo suits. And it's only a matter of time before someone gets a mocap suit working in VRChat, and the movement is gonna be so much better than it would be with 10 points of tracking. And it's gonna be so much more easier to manage because a Rococo suit is just one battery. One battery. Less bulk. Thank you everyone for checking out this video. For my perspective on 10-point tracking, if you would like to see my perspective from a motion capture perspective for VTubing, please let me know down in the comments below. And also thank you so much to my patrons on Patreon. Without your support, I would not be able to do what I do. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much.